Faith TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
A very warm welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Spot On. I am your host for today, Sheila Juma, and we're so delighted that you are tuning in to today's show. Today is going to be an amazing show. We have a new face with us in studio today. Hey. I'm going to let him introduce himself and then we'll go from there.
Yes, my name is Edwin Muna. I'm glad to be here today, together with these beautiful ladies. Thank you for hosting me.
Karibu sana. And as usual, on my right, we have
an old face.
an old one.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Hilda Katebe.
Awesome. So if you're watching us for the first time, Karibu sana. We are Spot On. We are a youth talk show that talks about current issues or issues just in general that affects the youth in our world and in this country today. And so today we'll be talking about money. What are your expectations when it comes to money as a young person? What are some of how did you grow up thinking about money? All that jazz. So you don't want to touch that dial, you don't want to miss today's episode. But as usual, we normally start with an icebreaker. So today's icebreaker is riddles. So I'm going to give out some riddles, and after I mention one riddle, whoever mentions or answers the correct answer first wins. Are you ready? Get your thinking caps on because this is about to turn some things in your brain. Hiya. Riddle number 1. What is tall when it's new but short when it's old?
A lollipop.
Sugar cane.
That actually is a good answer. It's not the answer, but it's a good answer. One more try.
What is tall?
I'm tall when I'm young and short when I'm old. What am I?
A person.
No.
A tree.
A fruity pop.
No, but I'll give the point to you because you said sugarcane, and that makes sense. So, point to you. It's a candle.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
What has to be broken before you can use it?
An egg.
Okay, that was fast. So 1 point, 1 point. What month of the year has 28 days?
February.
What month of the year has 28 days?
February.
Is it Feb?
28
Sure.
days.
But then what's the riddle there?
Is that
I'm overthinking.
No? What
What?
month of the year has 28 days? It's like a trick question.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
None.
All of them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you
All
think,
months of the year
If you
have
think-
Has to.
28.
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay, next one. So no points for anyone there. What is full of holes but still holds water? Still holds water, but it's full of holes.
A sieve.
Mattress.
No.
Why? But why?
Although, okay,
Yeah.
Why does a mattress have holes?
I mean, wool.
No.
A cloth.
No.
Near cloth.
One more try.
A sponge.
You got it.
But I mean,
I know if she didn't say sponge, I'd have given you the point.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
but the
I'll
answer
repair-
is
I'll repair point.
No, Patia point because she said the
SpongeBob.
actual,
the actual one.
the actual word. Good job.
Boy child.
You guys are smart.
Thank you.
It has nothing to do with the boy
And
child.
we are not complaining.
What goes up but never comes down?
Gravity.
Gravity does not go up.
I know. Just
What goes up never comes down.
vapor.
No.
A parachute.
No.
A rocket.
No.
I'm sure the answer is so simple.
Very.
Prayer.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sound.
Your age.
That's sad.
Easy.
Yeah. Remember, your age doesn't
Yeah,
go
yeah.
down ever.
That's true.
So true.
Okay, we'll do 2 more.
Okay.
What is always in front of you but can't be seen?
Yeah. Molecules.
Okay, that's a good answer, but it's not it.
Yeah.
A ghost.
No.
The
That's
Holy Ghost.
creepy.
Creepy, yeah.
In front of you,
In front of you,
but can't
cannot
be
be
seen.
seen.
Your nose.
No, you can see your nose.
It's not in front of you.
Also, it's on you.
It's on me, but I'm
5,
overthinking.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I didn't take
It's not
Google.
The
Dodo
future. But I'll give you a point for air.
for air.
Yeah. So that's 2-1.
The air is all around you.
It's also in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's all around you.
It's a point.
2-1.
It's a point.
Yeah. Last one.
Okay.
Last one. A man, listen carefully, a man who was outside in the rain without an umbrella or hat didn't get a single hair on his head wet. Why? He was outside in the rain, he didn't have an umbrella or a hat, but none of his hair didn't get wet. Why?
Outside in the rain.
No umbrella,
No umbrella, no hat.
no hat.
Not wet.
They have a band.
Go you! Go you!
I didn't think about that.
What? I didn't think any of you would get this one.
Okay, it's easy.
He's bald. Yeah. I think I want to do one more. Let me see. I shave every day, but my beard stays the same. What am I? I shave every day, but my beard stays the same.
Cut.
Cat has a beard.
No,
Yes, we go.
no.
Shave every day.
But my beard stays the same.
Clouds.
No. We have to break this tie because you're both
But
2-2. Someone has to win. 5,
Shave every day.
2, 5, 4. Okay, how do you go from 5 to 2? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I know it's easy.
A baba.
A baba.
Na wale wako na-
That's confusing.
I
They
mean,
wash their faces like mangoes. I mean, those who don't have a beard.
okay, last one because we have to break this tie. I have branches. Yeah, I have branches, but no fruit, no trunk, and no leaves. What am I?
A bank.
Sis, who sent you? Who sent you?
It's a bank.
Wow, it's a bank. Congratulations. You are the winner, but I must commend both of you.
Thank you.
Very smart people.
I know.
Wow.
As in once the last time you did that riddle.
I know. But that was our icebreaker for today, the riddle game. If you want to do that with your friends, please go ahead and do so. Before we go into our topic, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, why? Have you seen
Don't be
video?
that person.
Why? Because we keep saying. So please go and interact with us on our social media platforms. We are Elevate TV Kenya on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Kindly do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do have some spot on episodes on there, but not just spot on, but every other show that is shot on Elevate TV right on our YouTube channel. So if you have missed any of our episodes, you can go there, subscribe, watch, enjoy, and expect more in the future. So if you are wanting to interact with us again during the show, please go ahead and text the numbers that are on your screen. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear what topics you'd like for us to cover. What issues do you think that we should speak on? And would be more than glad to hear from you. So as I said, we will be talking about money. Okay. So money, it is one of the things that is necessary in life. And I just want to know, what are some of the thoughts you had about money growing up? Did you ever think about money, like when you were a kid? Did you just think things zinatokeanga tu kwa nyumba, like ulipata tu viti and they are just there because they are just there, or like you eat every day because like your parents are farmers, you know, like what did you think about money?
Money was a thing that could give you access to sweets growing up. Yes. So that was what I thought about money growing up, and then it was the thing you got after doing something good.
Yeah.
So that was money.
It
It was
was
the
a prize.
prize, you know, and then it was like the 1 bob is bigger than the 5 bob, so I want
Yes.
the
It has
1
higher
bob.
value.
Yes.
Wow. Kids, wow.
For every kid, money is easy to get.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're like, Dad.
Katiye.
It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then money was just like, you thought like every grown up has it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So ukiona mtu mkubwa,
Katiye.
you know they'll
They
give
look
it
like
to
they
you.
have everything
Everything.
together.
Until you grow up and know that you
Oh,
can
no.
lack something. You don't in the pocket.
Okay.
Yes.
So I remember growing up, I used to take like 20 bob, you know, go like buy sweets. I like what you said, that money was for sweets. That's what, at least you knew that money
Yeah.
is like something transactional. Like you
Yes.
can give this and get something back. And I think that was most of our first interactions with money at a young age. And did your parents ever talk to you about money?
No.
Ever?
Money was just that. You know, it was for the big people and they always had it, and it was a prize, a gift. I remember even when you were top of the class, you were given an amount. It was 200. It was so much, you know?
Yeah.
I could do so much with 200. If you're number 1, you get 200, number 2, 150, number 3, 100. So like when you get that 200 that day at the canteen,
You're
my
the
friend,
person.
you're like, you can have this, and you can have this, and you can have this. And then, you know, things were a bit cheaper then. Not like now.
Yeah.
So money was, but we've never had a conversation of this is how you use it, this is how you budget, this is nini.
I think every parent or most of your parents tell you, hii kitu utapata ukiwa mkubwa. Yeah, so that's always been it. And for me, I don't think I mean, maybe from a preaching, or I mean, I was never sat down and told this is money,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I used to interact with money a lot
Yeah.
because I was always top of a class.
Yeah.
maybe.
Ish.
Okay.
But do I say?
Okay.
Yeah, humble. So, and we used to have a lot of guests. So there were those guests, you know, huyu akikuja, I am okay. And then, as we said, sweets. But also for me, we used to, like, when you have like 10 shillings or 5 shillings, you go buy like ice, you know. You buy
Colored ice.
all colors.
Yeah.
I think it's recently another day when one of our friends decided to buy them just for us to remember where you came from. And so money was just that thing. And then when you had a lot of it, you were the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think even these things started when we were young.
Yeah.
Like, ule
Even now.
ule boys are kona
Because even now, yeah.
I'm only dem ako na kakitu. So there was like that vibe.
Yeah.
When you have a lot of money,
Yeah.
and you are the person. I mean,
A
kamfuko
direct
kakidia hivi.
translation.
Exactly.
Actually, if you have a little money, you're the person.
You're the person.
That person.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Did your parents ever visit you, or your uncle or auntie ever visit you and then give you money, and then your mom is like, "Nipatie tu nitakuwekea," and then you never saw
All
that
the
money
time.
again. You never saw it again.
I think we learned the hard way. it always happened.
Yeah.
Like for me, I had certain uncles and certain friends when they came. ilifika place nikawashow, you just need to give me my money when they are not seeing.
Yeah.
You just put it in my pocket or just call me, give me, because anytime they see you get money, they're like, let it kweke. And it was always a scam.
Yeah. It's a scam. Don't do it.
Yes.
My parents never did that.
Really?
Yeah, they would let you have the money to see what you're going to do with it. Because they want to know what kind of a person you are. Are you the person who's going to use that money to buy one thing, or are you that person who's going to buy twingy tudogo, you know, you want to keep it, ama you're that person who won't use it, you want to have it from January to December, it's just there in your pocket.
I like that.
I think mine came a little bit later, that version, because they also knew si ati wako wananipea, but you know parents give you limited amounts, like wewe siwezi kupea mia, like like you said when we started, the 1 shilling is the bigger one, so you knew value is. So they used to like play that trick. Even my bigger brother used to do that, like place 5 shilling coin here, place 1 shilling, the small one, place the bigger one, or the other 10 cents, the bigger one. So I'd end up choosing the bigger ones.
Yeah, because in your
and
mind,
him, in my mind I have value. So for him he's like, yes. So he picks the other ones until you grow up, and then you're like, you are playing with me. So the responsibility part came when you're slowly growing up, and you're like, this money can transact.
I
mean, people go to work because of this thing. You know, I think that's when it dawned on me that this thing is of value. Yes.
And I like something you had said about your parents wanting to see, like, they're not taking the money because they want to see what kind of person you are, because money really reveals the kind of person you are. Like, if I want to know what things you like in this life, or what your priorities are in this life, I'll just look at your bank statement or your M-Pesa statement, just to see hii pesa yake inaendanga wapi. You just see huyu anatumianga pesa ku, I don't know, shopping, manguo. Like, a lot of shopping is there, or like a lot of food, different restaurants every weekend, every day.
The things they access,
you know. So I like that. How you use money really, really shows what kind of person you are. That reminds me of a show I had seen of just online. It was a few kids, like, okay, no, it's a parent who's in the background, so the kids can't see the parent. So the parent is watching what the kids are doing, So now the kids are placed in this room, and they're given a limit of $100 to spend. Then when they're given that money, they're on some seats, and there's a table, and then like each round they put different items. So like maybe round 1 there'll be a dinosaur like doll, and then there's a toy car, like, you know, those control ones, and then there's like clay, like molding clay. So you're told this dinosaur is $15, this toy car is $50, this play mode is $5. You have and we have 5 rounds, but you only have $100 to spend. So now it goes progressing like that, until like at the end of the game, now they tally, they see this child spent 110 out of $100. This child spent $50 out of $100. You know, so you kind of begin to see, based on the choices these kids are making, like what kind of person they are. Because some kids are like, I'll get this $5 one. Maybe in the next round there's something more expensive that I will love more than what's presented to me. So you can like see them starting to reason. And I think there are so many kids who are like that, but because of lack of training, or like lack of being taught, or that having that talk with their parents, they just money is just, you know,
lakini hiyo game imeomoka.
I'd really like to do that with like kids, just to see what kind of things they buy. Like, would you go for the play mode over or the toy car at the very beginning, which is the most expensive, and then like in the next round there's like something even better that you want, but you can't get it because you spent you know,
all your money.
You know. And I think my parents actually did that with us. I remember one time we used to love pizza growing up. So every Sunday we'll just be like, pizza after church. So then my parents, I think it was my dad who told us, we were really young. He was like, one day I'm going to give you guys money. And he said, I'm going to give you money. And every Sunday when you ask for pizza, you'll use that money. Now, if you decide not to buy pizza, that money is yours to do whatever you want with it. Yeah? But if you want pizza, there's the money, you can use it. But you can decide not to use it and use it for something else. And I think for me, the lesson I drew from that was money is not just about the things that you want at that moment.
now. Yes.
You know, it's
Yes.
not about those
Versus
cravings and wants. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
you know, you can save that money because as kids, sometimes you just grow up thinking, tamu.
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah.
Anything sweet, anything
Exactly.
pompous,
Yeah.
anything that
That's
can
what
draw
I want.
attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, so for me, that was one of the lessons that I learned about money at a young age. I don't know if you guys have had any experience with school and teaching about money,
Like in class.
like in class. Apart from math, I'm not talking about math class.
Lord.
And I'm not talking about Kamau had 5 shillings
and
and then calculate. you
Yeah.
know.
Uh-huh.
any lessons from
Yeah, from schooling.
844.
I don't think so.
Anything I know about money is outside school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing that we are all supposed to save something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember at a point I thought every money, when you go to the shop, it always has change. So so when I'm sent, I'm expecting change.
Give me change. Uh-huh.
And then I'd be so angry when they don't give me change, and then I go tell my mom, sikupewa. Then she's like, yani, sometimes, by the way, hakuna.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That shows you were such a responsible and honest child.
I was.
Kind of.
I
Did
was.
you
He
ever,
was.
did you
I
ever
was.
steal money
Kwani
from, like, from your mom's? Okay, when you got older and maybe you got a phone, did you ever like get credit money?
Yes.
Yeah. But then she always taught us, if you want something, you better ask.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I think for me, I didn't learn it like a lesson, but I learned it through people. I could tell when the teachers are paid how they spend their money.
Wow.
Or we had different caliber of students in our classes. So there's this student who would have a lot of money, like is the one to buy us mandazi in class, primary school, mandazi. Everyone, you want how many? How many do you want? He was the guy. And there was that person who used to save a lot. And then when there's an occasion or something, that's when you'd know they have money. So I learned it through different people.
Okay.
Like you would tell, na kuna mse mtatel to, this guy has money, this one does not. There's another one you don't have an idea, but they surprise you. Even when we were a little bit younger, when going for trips and stuff like that, you'd know how people spend. Like this one is on juice, the way we are saying. This one is on Shevda. So
Oh yeah, Chelda.
yeah,
Wow.
the
Throwback.
guys who were like so holding their money, like you call them misers, but they had a plan. So after the trip, you were like, they weren't spending, but they were taking snacks from people and stuff, sharing. But after the trip, you see them having acquired something, and you're like, yo.
Yeah.
So it was a buzzer for us. Even when in high school, you were saying about awarding people money, like we had that. So it's at some point it became something really queer, because people used to work for A's to get money.
Wow.
Like you get an A, you get 1,000 bob.
What?
You get an
Hiyo shule
A
ilikuwa
minus, you
gani?
get
Ilikuwa imeamuka?
no. It was an idea brought about by
Ilikuwa tu
some
makofi
teachers.
for
They were
some of
like,
us. Yes,
yeah,
claps.
some teachers were like, we need to award these kids as much as, because for them they were seeing hard work, but we knew some of them it was hard work on the other extreme.
But then it paid off.
Yeah, so
I mean, is.
and then another thing that started, we used to like have a little bit of class competition. So kuna mwalimu tu atakuja wa slap to na do, like the riddle, you answer right, they're like, follow me after class. So guys will be like, alikupea nini? So they're like, I remember a day I answered a very hard question that the teacher was like, I didn't expect anyone to get an answer for this. So after I went to the office, the groups. So the teacher gave me 1,000. And
For answering a question.
Just a question.
Which
I was like,
school
Which
is
school
this?
is this?
it's just a normal.
No, it's
No,
not
no,
normal.
which school is
It's not
this?
normal.
Makweni Boys High School.
Makweni.
Yes.
Hey.
So it was an idea.
Okay.
Like there are teachers who are like, we really see some things in other students. There are students who will never get A's. Sorry to say that, but yes. But they were like, there's one who has potential in this. And they award it there and then. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's where classism started. Because my cousin was telling me about the first time she went to boarding school, and she has grown up in the village. So she thought everyone was the same at some point. So everything she just bought, it was everyone's the same. But then you go and then you realize, oh, this one has this. We are Tumengi.
Wow.
This one has this particular thing. So these ones who have these things, they hang out together.
Wow.
And then these ones who have these things, they hang out together. So that's when you realize, oh, so since I come from this place, this is how I'm perceived.
Wow.
So since this is what I have, this is how I'm perceived.
Yeah.
So then that's when now kids start trying to, force their parents to get things like that, because you want to be part of the crew.
I think for me in high school, we dealt with that problem, because there are people who never were visited, and there are people who were visited and they were visited lightly, like wale wa gazeti na kamaji, and there were those guys who like visiting is their day to shine. There's like a range there with some things, there's like another cabins there with some things. So I saw that need, especially in my cubicle, when you have a cubicle and you see some people have not been visited. So there are people in the country wakivisitiwa, umse kutatoka kwa avocados, umse kwao wataletewa pizza, mwingine chickenini, au wengine they're like walikujua na gazeti. So gazeti ndio walipewa. So to bridge that gap and like make people feel comfortable, we used to like, after the visiting and you're with parents, you meet up after in my cube. Guys bring everything what they have, so you share out with everyone, so that you can make everyone feel like they shared in that part of life. Yeah,
I love that. I think we're gonna come back after the break and talk about that issue where you're raised up in your family home. Let's even say make it as your home school. So all you know from primary school, just before high school, all you know is like what you've seen around. And like your friend who does not know that there's this whole other world out there, and then she goes and she's like, oh yeah, there's like people who are different, who have much more than I do, or maybe who have less than I do, and how that affects a child, especially in these national schools. So we'll be right back right after this break. Don't touch that dial.
There is a book. I don't think that book is in print. And it was entitled Matters, Kikuyu Matters for Their Faith. And these matters, they were killed and they really sacrificed their lives for their faith in Christ.
The Christian faith has been watered by blood.
There is a saying that the blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church.
As we celebrate heroes, the ones that fought for independence, Mau Mau heroes. We see those wazees. Kumbe, you should be one of them.
I didn't realize that.
Kids Entertainment.
I have the enemy in sight. 18 degrees by 4 degrees.
Inspiring moments.
In life's journey, there is that one defining moment.
I remember I touched them, they were still warm. And And I just told them sorry.
Deep conversations on spiritual, political, and economic issues.
In 2017, you offered your candidacy for the President of the Republic of Kenya.
Top local gospel tunes. Youthful, engaging conversations.
The person who won me over to Christ, before I came to know he was a pastor, we already clicked, we already developed a very strong rapport.
Powerful live church services.
God was in the business of restoring apostles to the body of Christ.
Welcome back. Thank you for sticking on. You are watching Spot On. I am your host, Sheila Juma, and with me I have Edwin Muna and Hilda Katebe. Thank you so much for always tuning in. We hope you're being inspired and you're learning something in today's episode as we talk about money. Before we went on break, we were talking about how our childhood was when it came to money. What did we think about it? You know, we've said it was mostly for sweets when you were much younger, and how like your auntie would come and give you money, and then your mom would be like, nipatie tu, just give me, and then you never see it again. And nitakuwekea vizuri kwa supermarket, but it's okay. We learn, we grow. And then right before the break, we were talking about Hilda brought up the topic of, you know, being a child who's been raised up in a certain home, in a certain way of life, and knowing that you have what you have, and then going to high school or to boarding school and finding, you know, all these different people, and you now start to realize, hiya, there's some more people who have more than I do, or even less than I do, and we are all treated differently depending on how much you have. And what was that point of realization for you? Did you have a point of realization where you're like, just because, like, okay, maybe not you, maybe like you, or like your friend, as you were saying, you know, they come to that realization of, I'm being treated, maybe let's say I have less, I'm being treated like this because of money. You know, that can be such a, I don't think it's a good headspace to be in, especially that first realization where you're like, for real, Yani, I'm being treated a certain way just because I don't have money, or because I have less than, you know. And so money now becomes, or possessions become kind of like a gauge where you are, or like a standard where if you don't pass here, then you're low class, meaning low life, or like, you know. What's that
for me, it was when I first went to boarding school, and then I had someone say, no, we don't stay with that one, atashinda kituomba. Then I realized, oh, there's that nini. When you realize, oh, this one, when they go for shopping, they have like a box of pen, but me, I have to buy 1, 2, 3. So there's a difference. That's when it hit me, we're actually different people. And then when you hear people talk about, when you have money, you're respected in the society. And then the people who are really respected in the society was because they had a particular car.
Right.
As in, now when you come with your Toyota something, the guard is not in a hurry. No, it's not a bad car. You see, the guard is not in a hurry, but you come with the big ones. And the guard is in a hurry. You know, they're saluting. It's really fast. So that's when you realize, oh, there's a difference.
I think for me, I saw it as early as primary school. Like, we had the people in class, and we also had those people below belt, the average people. So it was very evident when it came to material stuff. You know, like, hata vitu za shule, like, geometrical set ni wale wase. You know,
Oxford.
This kawatch.
Carpet up and down.
You know, and then the copper one is for, like, you know,
okay, people.
Advertisement. And the pelican one, it was very rare. So msekiwa na pelican, you're like, oh. But also, I saw it in this sense, the kind of shoes people had also. The kind of uniform, you know, you could tell. And then now when it came to events and stuff like that, that's when you would know There are people who have it. There are people who don't. And there are people who had it and they used to rub it on your face. We have it. And there are people who had it and they're just low key. But there are people who don't have. They want to play like they have. You know. And there are people who don't have. They're like, we don't have. But I love most of them because they would blend with the others. Like you wouldn't know until you get to interact with them closely. That's when you know they come from a very humble background in terms of money and stuff like that. So I think for me, I had friends who, even in high school, I had a friend whose dad was multi-rich. Like ukikuja visiting ile gari atakuja nayo mtajua tu wako na do. And alikuwa na warambia like, but akukole msewa I stay with this kind of people. So he was this kind of person that he has it. If he can help you, kama memalizana na needs zake, they will help you out. It even reached a point we had those people and we had needy students who couldn't pay fees. So like, we being the witty ones, we just like, bro, you have money. We even know right now you have a lot of money. Situlipe your boys' fees. Like, we're to the highest share to change wengine tulipe. And also in funkies, like, there are those ones who would tell you, I'm going to pay for 10 people. Like, tunaenda happy Nairobi, 500, I'll pay for 10 people. So it really came to a point of knowing. I think also for me, I learned it hard way with some people. Like, when it came, you want something, and there are people who have the money, but they don't need the thing. You need it. So they'll be like, because we have the money, I'm going to buy it, and then you buy it from me more. But there's someone who was like, I'll buy it for you, and I don't expect anything from you.
Wow.
So yes, money has its way of exposing people's character. Like literally. Especially even for us in funkies, and you would tell. Kunole mse akona do ata, you'll have all the ladies around, you know.
Wow.
And there's that guy who has a lot of it, but chill. But akibai stuff na mtajo. Unajua kuna zile vitu funky ukibai, people will know you have money.
And so we've talked about, you know, when you were kids, primary school and then high school. Now tumetoka high school. Now we are out there in the world. You joined campus. You know, are like, you know, money mwenye kuna dondo kusema, you know. Now you'll find, like Eddie has mentioned, people who have, you know, they don't necessarily have money, but they want to fit into a certain group of people, and so they start faking it, or like unachikimse hata anaanza kudress a certain way, amevunja bank yake yote, like he spent all this money to look a certain way, kuva a certain way, to eat in certain places, na si ati akona do,
and they'll post it
just so that they can can fit into a certain crew, or so that they can have people have the perception of theirs, or even like you live in an area that's not so favorable to the clique you're trying to fit in. So hata wakiko drop home, unasema ni drop tu hapa kwa stage, and then they're like, no, but see it's right down there, si tuko drop tu zizi si ni drop niko sawa tu hapa. You know, they drop you there, and then you walk, or you take like a ndudi, or like you walk another 25 minutes instead of like just being authentic and just being you, being real. I think life is so much simpler.
It's easier when you're real.
When you're real. And so don't let people pressure you out there to become something you're not because of money. Because of money, manze. And I wanted to talk about something else. You know, when you're growing up, you watch TV, you go to high school, you hear all these different experiences. You have these goals that you've set for yourself when you're growing up. Say by 23 or 22, I'll be done with campus, or 21, get a job. My first job, maybe I'll be earning like 50,000. By the time I'm 25, I'll be, you know, having a 6-figure job, driving this car. By 30, I have built 2 homes. You know, all that jazz. One in Runda, one in Kitusu, and a holiday home in Coast. You know, by 45, all my kids are graduated from Harvard. I mean, it's a plan. It's a plan. And so what are the
mine was at 20.
What was yours?
And I wasn't even thinking about the job. I was like, this was me when I was like, I think 12. So I'm saying, now you see, 20 looked so far when you're 12.
Oh my goodness.
So I was like, by 20, I'll have, I wanted 5 cars for each and every day of the week.
Wow.
And one for Sunday.
I like it. I like it.
I wanted a different car for each and every day of the week. And then I wanted a house by the beach.
Okay.
Yeah. So my idea was, when I get out of my bed, I want to jump in the water.
Wow. Wow. I can see it.
You can see it.
I can see it.
You can see it. And then by 20, I also wanted to have built, like my parents, a huge house. A huge house, and everyone is comfortable. And I didn't know what job I wanted, but those were my goals at 20.
The job that has money.
It just needed to have money for my cars,
For
my 5 cars, for Monday, Tuesday.
And what do you do on Saturday and Sunday?
On Saturday and Sunday, I wanted a nini. What was it? This huge, I remember the type of the car, but I've forgotten. But it was one weekend car with a convertible for the weekend.
When
you go to the beach.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yes. So it's 6 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I had drawn them. I wasn't a good artist, but I had.
You had a picture.
Yes.
A blueprint.
Yeah, and clothes for 365 days of the year.
Wow.
I didn't want to repeat clothes.
Wow. What was yours?
I think
at 20.
For every young man, I'd say it's like that is involved, but for us, it's like family.
Okay.
And to get married by this age. For me, it has always been 25. And I'm yet there, so it is possible.
There's hope.
There's hope.
Okay.
There's hope. So, like, you're your kids. Also you're your kids. You want to have kids by this time. You want to have cars and stuff. For me, it was not even cars. Mine, it's jets.
Wow.
Chopper there. We still have hope.
We do.
But I used to I think ilikuwa habit in me. I used to create that mindset and attitude. It's not about where I come from. It's about where I'm going.
Right.
Like, people used to find me with a dictionary. Dictionary had pages behind there to show you the type of houses, the kind of life. So you were looking at it and you're like, it's possible.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the teachers are also telling you, you need to have that A to get it. So I think everyone has had that. Like, for me, it was also different countries, Hii wiki tuko hapa, next week tuko pale, with your woman.
That was very realistic. Besides the jets.
No, like, when you're talking it out, as in, at the time, you didn't know about life itself. So you're like you're building castles there. That was the correct description of it. Like, castles, you want to have a house like the Queen's. Like, you want to have a house like State House, one with a helipad up there, and it's possible, but it takes time and a lot of energy and effort. Yes, so I think everyone has had that, including myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
And talking about all these
what
things.
was yours?
Mine. So I wanted to have my first job right after campus, and it was going to be a really good job. I wanted 50,000 for my first salary.
You had figures.
Yeah, I had figures, and then
Specific.
then grow. Actually wanted an entry-level job. Which entry-level job gives you 50K? But it's okay. Then I work myself up the company, and then by the time I'm 25, I'm earning the big bucks. Yeah. Then I get married, and then I get I get my own business. Because I was doing law, so open my own law firm. All that jazz, my kids have the best schools. And before we even start saying that we're making fun of this, I think let's talk about the power of dreaming and the power of the imagination. We're not trying to shoot anyone down that has these kinds of, any young person out there who has these kinds of dreams and visions. Please go ahead. The crazier, the better.
Yes.
The crazier, the better.
Yes.
Go ahead, daydream. Imagine those sand castles in Bulgaria. Imagine those castles. Imagine those helicopters.
Clothes for every day of the year.
Clothes for every day of the year.
Yes.
Imagine it.
Some brands, you know.
Yes, that was, you know.
Yeah, Prada, Dolce & Gabbana.
day.
Every day there's that.
Yeah.
In fact, you're not even buying those clothes in a store.
Yeah.
They are the designers themselves. Are
They
coming
bring
to your
them.
house.
They're bringing them.
And then
with
I
the
was thinking,
trucks.
like, every end of the year now, they would donate the clothes.
Yeah.
It was only one once.
Oh yeah. Wow. So you see, dream big. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. The Bible says, and that's where I want us to lead. What does the Bible say about money? The Bible says, I think, concerning these things, that God is able to do exceeding abundantly above all you could ask, think, or imagine.
Sure.
So if you don't imagine it,
Yeah.
if you don't ask it,
Yeah.
if you don't think it, so it's important to think and it's important to imagine about this stuff.
Yes.
Because once you do, then God is able to even exceed it.
Yes.
You know, God can do everything. There's nothing he can't do. So what does the Bible talk about or say about money?
Money answereth all questions.
All things.
What else?
And the love of money is the root of all evil.
Right. Not money.
Yeah.
Not money.
Yeah.
The love
The
of
love.
money.
So that love, in its sense, is not the love like the, you know, there's different types of love. So the love there is the lust of money. So if you are lusting after money, that's when you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And I think right now, even in our generation, that's it for our youngsters and everything. We're lusting after money. Like we want money for the wrong motives, for the wrong approach of it. Like tunataka tukue na do ndio wase wajue tuko nayo. You know? There's no goal for it. There's no like you have no plan. Like that, kwanza wapo kwa plan. You know, you said something so powerful, dreaming big. I think for me, the things I've been dreaming, I like actualizing. And when I actualize them, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You know?
Let me pause you right there and just emphasize that point about planning. You know, there's so many people who like win the lottery. They win like $5 million or 5 million Kenya shillings in 2 months. They don't know where that money went.
Yeah.
Umenunua gari.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to show apart from that car they've bought that they'll probably end up selling in about 2 weeks because now it's a liability. It's not really an asset.
Yes.
And so I love that you have to have a plan. And if you don't think and you get a hold of this money, you're going to squander it. It's going to go. And you know, money inapotenga tu hivi.
By the way.
Yeah. Money just goes.
Actually, there's something very powerful I learned when doing my course. I did software engineering. And there's something about planning.
Yeah.
It was not in planning, it was like objective. It's supposed to be SMART. It's like an acronym. SMART is specific, M is for measurable, A is achievable, R is realistic, and then T is time bound. So if your plan is not
realistic,
is not measurable, is not achievable, is not real, is not time bound or specific, somewhat or somehow you'll miss it. So I think very many of us, or let me say it that way, we want money, yes. Actually, you see what you're saying about betting and blah blah blah. I have people who have won a lot of money, but you're like, okay, kwanza wakiwina napoteanga, you won't know. Lakini mnajua liwin. So they get lost, they come back and they're like, kwanza what bugs us the most is that they went, they spent the money. Then now when they don't have it, they come borrow from we who look like we don't know how to use it. So they're like, niokole. That's the common. Niokole.
Yeah.
So you are like, okay, you won all that money.
What did you do with it?
Okay, what did you do with it? Did you even remember us? You know, there's that aspect of, niliwin tuseme 5 million, achani kumbuke kula pizza. Unajua, there's that thing. Actually, there are people who live on that. I know people that I personally am working with, and some have stopped it. Like some people live on betting money.
Yeah.
Like
so sad.
They live in a very pompous house. They are working a job that they earn something, but they want to live that life. They want to show people we're living that life. So they have to
do some bets. That's quite unfortunate.
And I sat down. There's a guy in campus we used to study with. I sat him down and we just talked when we were taking lunch at a cafeteria. He was like, bro, ebu tufanye budget ya do and you may spend a week. kwa betting. And the money you earn, let's compare and contrast. I can tell you for a fact, after 3 semesters, that guy stopped betting.
Wow.
Because he was like, hey, hii pesa yote, like,
kwa betting.
betting.
And then returns
Just
is not
betting.
Yeah. Of course, for him, money was not a problem, but he came to his senses. At the Lifka place, he was that kind of guy dishing out money. But it came to a place after the talk, 3 semesters later, he was like, hey, okay, now I need to work on my money. Even giving out money, he had to like think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm giving you 1,000 bob. How is it gonna impact my financial status? So I think we really need the planning bit. I think
planning bit is very important. But back to now the point of lasting after money, or that love of money. I actually know of someone who he's not a young person, he's maybe 50, in his 50s, and I met with him, I knew him recently, and so every time I'd go to his office, a friend of mine, because we were in business for something together, he'd always talk about my money. I'm so wealthy. I'm just from Dubai. Dubai was so great. You know, always talking about money. Money. This investment, I started it in 2014. Now I'm like, you know, or like all that stuff. And every time we would go to see him, that's all he would talk about. Majority of the time, money, his wealth, all that. It got to a point where I was like, this is such a sad situation. Because this man is literally the definition of love of money. This man loves money. So you know, in my head, I'm like, okay, you have money in this lifetime. That's great, good for you. Then you die, and then you spend your eternity in hell. What has that money helped you with? And you know eternity is forever. So eternity is forever, and it's longer than the 100 or 80 years that you have here on earth, right? So one time I was like, you know, I told him, you know, every time we come here, you're always talking about wealth, giving us, you know, business advice, all that. And I'm like, you share with us, you know, all these things. And I was like, let me just share with you something that's also important, I think, to us, even more than money. And he's like, yeah, sure, share it with me. And I ended up sharing the gospel with him. And I'm like, all this money is good. You know, money answers problems. But it's not everything. And your love for money can literally put you in hell for eternity. And we shared the gospel with him. He got born again.
Wow.
And so for me, that's such a testimony, because it goes from someone who is so dependent on money, so dependent on this financial gain that he has for life. And what if it's taken away from him? What is he going to do? You know? And so for me, that lesson that I took from that place is, do not depend on earthly possessions. Do not depend on money to make you happy, to make you feel fulfilled, to give you joy, because it's all fading away. It's literally all fading away.
Actually, scripture adds to it by saying, where your treasures lie, there also your heart lies. So I can imagine that guy, his treasure was in the money. So that's where his treasure was. And that's also scripture encourages us. We just don't keep the treasure here on earth. We keep it in the heaven, in the heavenly, where it cannot even be.
There's no rust or
moth. Know, I remember a certain, sorry to say this, terrorist attack we had in Kenya, and there was people trying to, let me say the police, they were trying to access money in some safes and stuff. So it brought a picture to me that this thing, you know, its value, the value in money, like we have the old 1,000 note and the new one. You remember immediately we changed to the new one. The other one is just like, even the memes and stuff, you guys were sweeping them away and stuff. So that tells you about the treasure and the heart also. So I get it even better, that love should be directed into the right channel.
And you know, the thing is, in this world, things are upside down compared to the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven, you know, the kingdom of earth, or this world, people say, chase after that money, go for that money, like,
That's the goal.
The kingdom of heaven says, seek my righteousness first. And all these other things shall follow. The kingdom of this world says, usipatiane, keep. That's
Take
how
it
you
for
save.
yourself.
And it's important to save. I'm not saying don't please save.
Very important.
But the kingdom of heaven says give and it will be given back to you. So if you are a child of God, what are some of the things or attitudes that you should have towards money?
I was just thinking about the consequences first before we go to being a child of God. I was thinking about the consequences of some things we do because of money. So there was this guy who was betting, but not betting on other things. He was actually betting on his body. He told his friends, if you give me this amount of money, I'll go get silicone implants on my chest.
How stupid can you get?
And he actually got them.
What?
He did. He did. So, you know, you can guess how they look like?
Yeah.
So we really don't look at, so after I do this, by the way, what happens next? You know,
the consequence of
exactly the same way, after you go see that old man, what happens next? What have I destroyed? What about my destiny? Exactly. So being a child of God, I know my money is for God first.
Right.
Yes.
What he has given me is to facilitate what he wants me to do in the kingdom. So what he has given me, what am I supposed to do with it? Kwanzaa. What is that one thing that he wants me to do in the kingdom? You know, it's so easy to go buy something in the shop, but then bringing it to church.
Yes.
It's so hard.
That's so true, because the other day I was in church and it was giving time and I had, you know, some money in my wallet. And I asked myself, like, I wanted to give like a lesser note, but I asked myself, this 1,000, you'll go spend it, buy pizza or buy like, do your hair. Why is it harder to give it in church than it is to go give someone else? Like, it's an attitude. Yeah.
But is it though?
It is.
It's more than that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's an attitude. And this thing we've been talking about, value. You know, in your life, what do you value most?
And as you do that, please give your parting shot, because unfortunately our time is up.
It's always short when you
I know.
you feel like
30 seconds.
When you feel like you want to go more. Okay.
So for me, I think I believe this is something I choose to believe and stand on. Money is good.
Definitely.
And we need it. Because even if we say it is bad, we are talking, even for our TV, we say advancing kingdom lifestyle. If we have to advance this kingdom lifestyle, money will always be involved. It's a kingdom currency also. So money is good, we need it, but also we should train our minds that this money we are sourcing and getting, what is it for? Who does it belong to? And who do we ascribe it to? So, because if you understand that, that's when we can place money where it is rightly to be placed.
Yes.
For my parting shot is, never let the lust for money stray you away from God's purpose in your life.
Amen. Amen. Do not let the lust for money stray you away from God's purpose for your life. It's not yours, it's from God. It's God given to you. Even when it comes to giving, do not struggle to give, because it is, you're a steward. The thing is, with everything that we have in this life, you are a steward of it. It's not yours per se, because you do not give it to yourself. So don't be attached to money. Don't love money, because that's the root of all evil. We hope that you've learned a thing or two during today's episode. We know that you will be back next Saturday. Yes, so we'll see you again next time, same place. Bye-bye.